And welcome to Grandad Reviews. In this episode, we're going to have a look at camera straps, various ways of using them, and something that I thought was going to take off, but it hasn't. It seems to have died a death, but you can still get some parts of it, and I'll show you that as well. So, usually when you get a camera like this one, you get a camera strap like this, and you put it through the loops, and you usually walk around with it around your neck, like so. Before I go on, just apologise if you hear any noise. There's a gale blowing at the moment here. So you get this. When you've got a biggish lens, and this EOS 1N is not light anyway, you start to get strain on your neck. And for me particularly, and other sufferers of FND, that can be an issue, and it all set other things off. So I needed to move away from this style of strap. You can put it that way, but these straps aren't normally long enough to use it properly, and it's a bit of a strain. So we have to try a different idea. So the system I ended up using, after trialling different ones, was PeakDesign. And we've got here the slide. This is the original, one of the original versions of the slide. The later ones are slightly different. And you get this clip like so, and what you do is you attach them to your original eyes. Some you need to use the triangles, and others, and I'll show you in a second, you can put straight in. So again, you've got that. Pop them into there. Pop it into there. You can wear it as a neck if you want, but I prefer to use it like so. Quick stand up there, and you can see it hangs perfectly. They do other versions of the strap, so this particular one is for heavier cameras, and they do a slide light, which is this one. Works exactly the same. Put your camera, plug these in, and we've got slide light, just like so. Works perfectly. And that's more for your lighter cameras, mirrorless, such like. Works perfectly with this Minolta Dynex 7. They also do one called Leash, which is a really thin one. Again, same ends. But what I tend to use with this is taking one of these little clips. I add one here, and I can clip that one to that one, and have a single. And if I'm using something like this Olympus Mu, put one of those on, and there we go. You've got it just like that, and it works a treat. And this system's fantastic, really does. If you want to take it off, on and off, really good. Well, they're the three main straps, but let me just show you on this one here. We take the original strap off, and these are a fiddle, I must admit. On this type, you can just put these straight on, just like that. So you can use the original, you don't have to use anything else. But let's say you've got a favourite camera strap, I've got a nice Minolta one, and I want to use it with Minolta, but I don't want to use it how it originally was. What you can get are these add-on bits for your original strap. And now I can use my original strap it says Minolta with my Minolta camera. Now these you can get from PeakDesign as a set, and you get some of these extra attachments as well. Not too badly priced, but you can get a cheaper version. Now I'll put some links down below where you can get these cheaper versions. Now the one thing I will say, they come with these clips as well. Personally, but I've had no experience, I wouldn't trust their cheaper clips over the PeakDesign ones. I've used the PeakDesign ones for years and years with really heavy setups, and I've never had an issue. But they're compatible. So that clip, which is a cheap one, which is just a piece of metal, so there's no real issues there, and they're very well made. You can use the original PeakDesign clips straight into it. So that's using camera straps around your neck, around your shoulder, attached to the original mounting points. I've just had for instance, I've got a Canon one there as well, which I've added these to. Right, so it's a great system, easy to use, fast, secure. Okay, not cheap, especially if we go for the PeakDesign, but there are some cheaper copies that use same or similar system, and yeah, I think they're brilliant. But one thing I do find, if I take the camera off the strap, I've got it on a tripod or something, then these can sometimes get in the way. And if you've got them on the camera that you use for video, as you can hear, if it's windy, they rattle. So I started using a different way of carrying the camera, but using the same idea. Now the first thing, when you get one of these straps, you'll also get this very tiny little clip. And what you can do is take the clip and screw it into the base of your camera. Then take two of these, put them on there. Then you've got your strap. Like so. Then can carry the camera like that. Got a lens on. You can bring it up. So it just sits like so, and you can quickly get to it. And that's one way of doing it. But obviously, if I want to put this on a tripod, I've got to take this off. And this works best if you're actually in the PeakDesign ecosystem. If you've got PeakDesign capture clip, now this is the version 1, and I'll show you why I prefer the version 1, you can probably see anyway. But this is the capture clip, so if we're on a belt, or if you've got a backpack on or something, you can clip it to that. And what you get with it is this plate. Screw this plate, screw the plate to the bottom, and basically you carry camera on a back strap or on a belt you just click it in, captures it. Works a treat. But if you notice on this clip, it's got holes. You can put these straps through the holes. So we're back to carrying it like so. Yeah. But the trick with these is that they're Arca Swiss compatible. So now I can put it on a tripod or a monopod, quickly take it off and put it back on the strap. So that works a treat. Now the only downside is, if, like me, you often use these Manfrotto clips, obviously this doesn't work. But PeakDesign have you covered with that as well. This clip here so that clip there works on Manfrotto. And it works on Arca Swiss. So you can use both on it. And it's still got the holes for these. You can still put them in. You still carry it like that as well. But there is a different way of doing it. If we take these off, and this works with this plate and a little square plate. So if you're just an Arca Swiss person, you don't need this plate. It works with these as well. And this is why I like the Mark 1 of these clips. Got little cutouts. And you can put these straps in there. Now if you've got the later ones, you're going to have to put it under the bolt and clamp it down. If you've got these on, so now that's attached to there, and this, which is still a capture clip, clips straight into it. So I can have this attached to a camera, put a lens on, I've now got a lens on here. We've now got a lens on, still use it as such, or you can take it off. You can put it on the tripod and use it. And that works a treat as well. So that's how I use the PeakDesign. But came across something else. Now, this was popular at one time. And we'll just take this off here. Now, it's not directly compatible with any of these clips for PeakDesign. If I put this clip on, I've got this clip. Arca Swiss for a start, so works for all that, not a problem. But what it's got is this little hole. You can see that. It's called a QD, or quick disconnect system, and it basically made for the military for carrying rifles and all kinds of things. And what you get is this little connector, and it plugs in and comes out. Getting hold of these kind of plates is quite difficult at the moment. These are by Sunway Photo, and they're basically the only people I've seen. Kirk used to do them and really write stuff. You can still find the odd bit there, quite expensive, but these are reasonably priced. And you can get straps for rifles with these connectors built in. What I've done is bought one of these, put two of the buttons from PeakDesign on it, like so. Just plug it in. As you can see, still got it on. I want to take the camera off. Unplug it straight away. Works a treat, and I just don't see why it's not as popular. Okay, you've got failure point here, but what you can do is put a safety strap from here to there. But to be honest, if that's safe enough for carrying rifles and what have you, it's not going anywhere. I know how strong these PeakDesign are on. I trust them on the camera here, so that's perfectly safe. But that's using the PeakDesign strap. But because these are, you can get these clips. But yeah, so you can get these clips with various angles on them. So see, that one's flat, that one's triangle shaped. So you can get these. So what you can do with these is put them on a normal strap. So instead of putting these through here, you can put these through that and use them on a normal strap. But what I've been finding, especially with the width of these straps, even the slide, even though that's quite 1.5 inches, it's quite wide, still getting some discomfort. So found this. Now it's very similar to Black Rapid idea, or the Black Rapid straps, and this is just a cheapy knockoff, but I've attached one of those to it. So this fits just here, like the Black Rapid, with the piece here. And then you've got this, plugs in, as you can see, hangs just nice, and then just slides up like so. It's got the clips, I can put it there so it doesn't flap around, put them straight up, and it's just got that connector. Take it straight off, put it on. So I don't really know why the QD system hasn't taken off. I think it's a brilliant system. It's so easy. There's no extra bulk. I haven't got to use that. I haven't got anything dangling from the camera. It's just straight. Put it in the hole. Press. Done. And these are rated for hundreds of pounds. You're not going to come off on your camera. And this one just gives me a little bit more padding and spreads the weight a bit more, which is a bit better. So whichever you want to use, either something like this with this QD system, along with its respective plate, again, Arca Swiss, or you want to go for PeakDesign with one of their plates and the anchors for carrying the camera from the base, which I must admit I'm finding a lot easier. If you've got a camera strap on, sometimes, especially if you're going to do portrait, you've got it dangling or it's just banging around. It's not always inconvenient. It's just one of those things. But if you've got like a hybrid camera and you're doing video and you have it on a monopod or anything and you've got them dangling, you might not want that. So going away from these and mounting to the bottom, you can use these, and then you've got the advantage that that's there ready to go onto your tripod. Now the only downside, possible downside, is with these plates, if it comes loose a little bit, it's going to come off. Whereas a proper Arca Swiss plate, you can see it's got the two little pins. So you've got it tight, but if it comes loose a bit, it won't fall off because of the pins stopping it. So that's the only, not disadvantage, even this one hasn't got. So if it's tight, it's tight, but if it just comes loose a little bit, it will come right off. Just something you've got to be aware of. But all these different plates with the capture clip give you a lot of different ways of using your camera strap and your camera. For me, I'm trying to go more to QD, unless I'm going to be having a backpack on, in which case I'll be using the capture clip. And I also prefer the capture clip when I've got a larger lens, like my 100 to 400. I'll have the capture clip on the actual lens, and I've got a bigger spread of contact on that. You can also, if you wanted, have one of these on the camera, and one of those on the lens. One thing I have found, and it's quite a good way of carrying a larger setup, so I've got a 300 on here on the one end. Instead of carrying it from just there, what I've been doing is putting QD plate, adaptive plate there, a hanger on here. Be nice if I could find a QD plate for here, but there you go. Putting it like that, so we've got a point on the camera and a point on the lens. That sits quite well just there, which you can bring up easy. You can bring it up to your eye quite easy. Hang it back down, and you've got two point of contact on the lens just there, and a point of contact on the camera, just spreading that weight. That's one other way I do it. Okay, it means you have to disconnect two things, but it makes it a good solid connection. So those are some of the different ways I've been using camera straps I use. And I say I do like the PeakDesign. I know they're not the cheapest, but you can get some alternatives that might be worth testing. Quite like this design where it's slided up the actual strap. I find that's a little bit easier, and it obviously spreads the weight a bit better. But there's loads of different ways you can use camera straps, and you've just got to find a way that works well for you. But this is just showing you how I do it, just to give you some ideas. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. That helps the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, see you later.